Hey friends, Ethan is here, but hiding because he's not sure his team is gonna win.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I knew we were going to win last week, and I still wasn't on cam. Sometimes we have technical
We
difficulties.
were gonna win last week.
I knew we were going to win last week. It was Sanford.
That's why I said everyone knew that.
Yeah. I mean, it was 14-0 at halftime. So
Or
it,
everyone hoped that. We'll say
it
that.
was a little bit more interesting than it should have been.
Everyone hoped that. Oh goodness. We were just talking before the show about how Shelbie didn't put on enough sunscreen before going to Kyle Field. And apparently they have free sunscreen at the swamp, and I'm mad about it.
I've
See,
never heard of that ever.
Yeah. See, we take health seriously at the University of Florida. We're pioneers. We're leaders in the medical field, and we hand out free sunscreen, free water, any kind of hydration and sun protectant need. You get for free because we care about our fans and we care about the health of the people that inhabit this world. Unlike the bioterrorists at
I
Texas
knew it was
A&M
coming.
and the university backed by Tyson Foods and Walmart.
Oh.
Yikes.
Speaking of, did you guys see that we are putting ads on the field?
I did. The mock-up was something to see. That was interesting. It's funny that you guys are going to be like kind of the first one to really go all out with that a week after playing Oklahoma State, who put QR codes on their helmets.
Which is the
and dumbest. They didn't even have them on the helmets. They weren't on there.
Maybe
they just have them on a thing in the end zone. Can't even see them.
Who knows?
I have a friend whose son plays for Alabama State, and she shared his NIL link. And I looked at it and I was like, it'd be pretty cool to buy something and support him. And the jerseys were like $140 and the shirts were like 80. And I'm like, I don't know about that one. Like, good luck, kid. Like, maybe $25 we thought. Maybe get a hat or something, but
stuff's not even that expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could buy like a game-worn Florida jersey for $140. But good luck.
Like, proud of you. You do that. You go do the thing.
So, I mean, I think that really the only game that Sydney's game was the highlight of the week, right? I mean, I thought you guys had the Pokes nailed down.
Yeah, beat ourselves per usual.
That's tough.
That's how it goes in Fayetteville.
Does that bring the love for Bobby Petrino back down a notch?
Not really. I mean, we played so much better than them, but until the second half, and then everything just imploded. But it's funny because, like, going into it, Arkansas fans were like, oh, we're not going to win this game, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We're not good enough. And then we lose, and they're all like, Oklahoma State sucks. Like, I can't believe we lost that game. We had that game, blah, blah, blah. Oklahoma State, they're not a good team. Their quarterback sucks. Ollie Gordon sucks. I'm like, dude, they went up to number 13 from number 16. They're a playoff contender. They don't suck. You're just saying that because you want to be mad at something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okie Light. I can't with them. I don't like Oklahoma State mostly because it's orange, and I don't wear orange in any way, shape, or form. So there's that.
We did destroy Ollie Gordon though.
Yeah, I was just looking at the stats from that game, and it's pretty wild. You guys had 650 yards of offense and 33 first downs.
Insane.
Plot twist: if you're gonna play one half, pick the second one.
Right.
That's how Aggie football usually works. We play one half, and it's hopefully the second one.
Yeah.
And hopefully the first one doesn't go too horribly. That's just the hope. I don't know. The Michigan-Texas game was way more like or less exciting than I wanted it to be. And I didn't watch it, but I followed it, and I was like, that's not exciting.
I didn't watch it either because I was watching our game, but I don't know if Texas is like super super good, if Michigan is really bad, or if
Michigan
both
is a
can be
shell
good
of
at the same time.
I know that y'all really don't want to admit this, but I have some bad news for both of you. Really for us too, but it's not as painful. Texas is really fucking good. Like,
The short
I
one.
thought you were gonna say Texas is back.
nah,
Go ahead, say it.
They gotta win. They have to win the SEC before I say they're back. Like, if they come in, and it does suck, right? Because I feel like A&M and Missouri both had really great teams the first couple of years they were in the SEC, and then the grind, the week in week out, just everybody's so close to each other except for like Georgia and Bama, right? That you just kind of knock each other out. But this might be Texas's best team since like '05, and it just happens to be the year that they come into the SEC. And it does suck because I feel like it's going to eventually catch up to them, but it just happens that they're catching it on this year, and you guys are never going to hear the end of it.
Oh,
I don't ever.
Yeah.
I don't deal with Texas fans like at all. I don't even see them. Right? They don't even. They're not even in my like atmosphere. But you guys, I feel for you.
I really don't see them much either, but I know that's gonna ramp up.
Yeah, they come
Like
out
I
of the
said,
woodworks.
if we lose that game in November, I swear to God. And it's not even because like I want to have a better season than them, whatever. I just don't want to not hear the end of it.
They are going to pummel us into the ground.
Watch you win that.
Like, you never know. It's like an LSU thing. Like, we always play our best game. We played a darn good game against them. Granted, they weren't obviously this team now, but like it's like every LSU game. I mean, we bring out our best, and it maybe we'll get lucky, but I don't know. I need to actually watch Texas and pay attention to them and see what they're up to.
Yeah, see, I just choose not to watch because, contrary to popular belief by many shorthorns, I don't care enough to watch your game. I just don't care. Now, if they're in the national title game, will I watch it? Sure. Is it because they're in it? No. Like, I need you to calm down. Also, they've beaten what? Colorado State and a shell of a Michigan team. So we'll see.
Mean, looking at what they did last season, I don't think that they are unbeatable. I don't think any team this year is unbeatable. Georgia's first half against Clemson, if they play that against a team with a better offense like a Bama or a Texas, I think they're beatable. But again, those you're in pretty. There's like I feel like there's a top 5 teams that sort of any of them could win the national championship, and everybody else is sort of playing for second. But Texas had some dogfights last year. I mean, they lost to Oklahoma, who ended up not being super great. They beat Houston by a touchdown, beat Kansas State by a field goal, beat TCU by a field goal. Like they were in some struggles against some pretty mid to bad teams. And I feel like everybody kind of hyperfixated on that Alabama game. But I mean, I don't know. I think that they have a pretty soft schedule, but I could see them still losing to Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, Arkansas, Texas A&M. I think any of those teams could beat them. They're not that good, but
I
they're
feel
still
like
pretty fucking good.
Out of those, outside of the Georgias of the world, I feel like A&M has the best chance just because there's a lot of pent up anger on both sides, and you're going to get you're going to get the best of both sides for that game. So if anybody's going to do it out of the teams that you just listed outside of Georgia, who I really think will pummel them into the ground, I think A&M could do it. And that's not the homer in me. That's just the fact that this rivalry has been dormant for so long, and every time it happens in another sport, it's huge. So now, all bets are off.
See, I feel like Oklahoma is the most likely outside of Georgia. That would be my
I would
pick, but
love Oklahoma to knock them out in Red River. Love it.
What if they start SEC play and all those other teams are just really bad and Texas is just mediocre to good and not great like they're portrayed at the moment? What if?
Every time I hear "what if," all I can think of is Wild Kratts, which is a show on PBS Kids that my students love to watch. And they're like, what? It's like starts out with these two guys that are like talking about animals or whatever, and then they become cartoons. And they go, what if? And then they become cartoons. And the whole show starts. I'm like, I can't unhear it now. Like that's all that's in my brain now. Fun facts with Shelbie. Let's see, any other decent games this weekend? Oklahoma and Houston was a lot closer than I wanted it to be.
What about those Golden Bears? all I've heard was how great of a coach Hugh Freeze was, how Auburn was bought in, how they it was Nick Saban who said they were like a sleeper pick to win the SEC this year. Then you let Cal come into Jordan-Hare, dumbest pronunciation, Jordan-Hare, and beat you. Like, it's spelled Jordan, first of all. Like, stop lying to me. Don't tell me it's Jordan. It's Jordan, okay? Jesus, that you deserve to lose to the Cal Golden Bears by forcing everybody else to do that. We want to root for Auburn so bad. Auburn is the most chaotic, funny team of all time. But then you can't pick a mascot and you don't know how to pronounce your own stadium. So, you lost to Cal.
All right.
My New Mexico Lobos are going to go in there and mess them up this weekend.
Let's do it. That would be incredible, losing to New Mexico State and New Mexico in consecutive seasons.
So
Auburn's real rivalries against the state of New Mexico.
This is Shelby's intelligence for the week. I was making our notes for the podcast for the week, and I'm counting the games, and I'm like, how come there's not as many games as there are teams? And I was like, oh, wait, we started SEC. We're playing each other. Never mind. Okay. It's fine. It's like, my bad, y'all.
Ethan, I thought South Carolina sucked and wasn't going to win an SEC game.
Maybe Kentucky sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Kentucky is the one who sucks the most. I don't know. This is their one. This is their one. Shane Beamer is what's about to happen is Billy Napier's about to win 6 in a row. Shane Beamer's about to lose 6 in a row.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and boom, he's out the door. DJ Lagway saving the season.
South Carolina's
crazy.
South Carolina's got a pretty hard the next set of games for them is really not great.
Yeah, they get Akron, and then it's just, Florida gets a similar run at the end of the season, but yeah, going Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma, A&M, then they get Vanderbilt, and then they get Missouri. It's pretty rough. We'll see. It's Shane Beamer and Billy Napier just fighting for their lives every week, week in and week out. I think Beamer's safe though. I don't know. South Carolina fans seem to love him for whatever reason.
A former fan, as a fan of a certain former coach who loved the word swag, it's not a good idea. Let it go. Let it go. I'll Kevin someone who is now doing nothing, I'm sure. So
I'm sure.
I honestly couldn't tell you what that man is doing in his life right now.
Yeah, I haven't
he
heard
is
of him
the co-offensive coordinator and tight ends coach at Maryland.
Maryland beat Texas a couple of times down back in those good years of the end of the Big 12 era. That was fun. Also, it is 7:15 and Texas lost to Kansas in football twice.
Get him in while you can, Shelby. Get him in while you can.
Hey, I love it. It makes me so happy. Let's see. Speaking of South Carolina, let's start our games. LSU and South Carolina. Poor
With
South
college
Carolina.
game day in town.
Like, why?
It's going to be storming, raining, a lot probably. So, in my opinion, it will be a low-scoring game.
Is it really going to rain that much?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked.
I don't know if it's that much, and I'm not a meteorologist, so don't listen to me. But they're expecting
Everything
rain.
Sydney says is professional weather advice, by the way.
It's professional.
Yeah,
If
nothing I
she's
say
wrong,
is
she can be held
correct a lot of the
liable.
time. But I do know it is expected to rain. I looked at the weather there today, and it's supposed to during the game. But it might be later in the game. Who knows? But I am excited to see LSU kind of see what happens there. Because a lot of people are still unsure about LSU, and I am too.
I'm not a believer in Garrett Nussmeier.
I said, I'm unsure about a lot of things, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like Notre Dame. That's what I'm unsure of.
I think South Carolina's running game gets shut down.
I truly believe that. Because I honestly think that South Carolina is ass.
So LSU. South Carolina has a damn good defensive line.
We shall see on that one, but I'm going LSU.
Yeah, I'm taking LSU.
Yeah, I'll go LSU.
Sydney picking LSU? What? I wonder
why.
What? I didn't know. The Alabama and Wisconsin. I know nothing about Wisconsin at all.
I think it'll be closer than what the spread is. I think the spread is like 20-something.
It's
Is it
16
really?
right now, but I think it's going to be closer than that too. I actually think Bama has a chance to be upset this week. I think going up to Madison, kind of a weird place to play.
Yeah.
Is Alabama better than Wisconsin? Yeah. I feel like Wisconsin can do the thing to Alabama that Utah does to teams sometimes, where they just randomly get like a 9-minute drive, and then Alabama like sputters, goes 3 and out, and then they do another like 8-minute drive, and now you're like, well, it's 14-3 or whatever, but they're going to get the ball back, and I don't know. I feel like Wisconsin has a chance to do something funky to Alabama, so I definitely picked them against the spread. I don't know if they went out right, but definitely I think they cover the spread.
Yeah.
It's like Ethan has experienced before. Like you've been on the losing side of that before.
Yes, I have.
I'm excited to see Alabama have a real test too.
In USF, was it a real test? What? Come on.
A real test.
Real.
Anybody's a real test if you struggle bad enough.
That's Notre Dame. Let's see. Boston College and Missouri, which, like, if you would have told me that this game had more playoff implications than anything else, no. Just no.
I'm going Boston College upset here. Outright. I liked what I saw from the Bill O'Brien fighting Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
I think Boston College goes into Como and gets the win.
What's the spread there? Do you know? Does anyone know?
16 is what I see on ESPN.
Oh.
No.
Bang, 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 Boston College.
So bang, bang, bang.
If I was a betting person, which I'm not.
Is this financial advice, Sydney?
No. Don't take weather advice. Don't take financial advice. Don't take gambling advice. I don't gamble. Don't listen to most things I say.
That should be like the catchphrase of our podcast.
Don't listen to anything.
Don't listen to what we're saying.
What is it in Finding Nemo? Don't listen to anything my sister says. She's nuts. That's what that is.
Back to Alabama. Tua just threw an interception.
Oh. Well, let's see. So I'm going Boston College too because I really want to see that upset. Tulane at Oklahoma. Now, wouldn't that be fun?
I always want to like bet on Tulane. I don't
They're
know what
fun.
it is about them. They are fun. I like Tulane.
And honestly, their merch is really nice too.
I'm
Like
going Tulane.
I've seen it. It's nice.
Roll
Them
wave.
and Hawaii have really nice.
Roll wave.
Yeah, Hawaii's cool.
The Rainbow Warriors. They haven't been the same since they got rid of that mascot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma stomps Tulane here. Sorry.
I also am picking Oklahoma. I
Yeah.
just wish it would be fun.
Picking Tulane.
Let's see. Oh, Ethan, it's time.
You go first, ladies first.
Okay. First of all, if I see another Florida account call Connor a mid quarterback while also talking about Graham Mertz as the second coming of Jesus, I swear to God. Like, I just can't.
No, one of them was a better quarterback than the other one. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll see. We'll
I
see.
haven't seen a single Texas A&M score this season. Actually, I watched the Notre Dame game.
Let's say we scored once against Notre Dame, touchdown wise. Then we scored what? What was it? 52 against McNeese, who, fun fact, I learned during Midnight Yell, has not won a game since 2021.
Wow.
Or 2022. Whatever. They have like one win. And I'm like, that is sad. Like, really sad. But yeah, I do believe that we will beat Florida.
What makes you think that a team that lost to Notre Dame, who lost to Northern Illinois, can beat any SEC team?
I'm sorry, are we talking about the transitive property now?
Sure.
You lost to Miami.
We lost to a top 10 Miami, and who is undefeated. You lost to Notre Dame, who lost to Northern Illinois. Therefore, transitively speaking,
oh, good Lord,
we're technically undefeated.
Oh, okay. Good Lord.
You're crazy.
You're technically.
We have fun. No, so we're going to be without probably our best player in Eugene Wilson.
Saw that.
It's a bit of a kick in the leg. But I think that we have enough depth to help overcome that. The fact that he's probably the best player on our team makes it unlikely we actually do overcome it. But I think that between our running game and Texas A&M's not very good offense, combined with the 2 to 3 turnovers, you can pretty much always count on Connor Wegman throwing.
I'm gonna hit you.
I think that Florida wins 38-21.
Oh, not 41-38?
No.
On a last second field goal?
I think you're skipping one though.
Oh yeah. Oh well. All I know is that two things. One, I just saw a Florida Twitter account bring up the ugly ass jerseys that y'all wore last time we played in the swamp. And I was like, why?
Are they wearing those?
That game.
No, thank God.
You lost that game.
If they're wearing those, automatic pick for A&M.
Yeah, no, we haven't worn those since. Thankfully.
Just for those uniforms, I'm gonna pick. Wait, where is this? The swamp?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna pick A&M.
Oh my God, she went there.
she said anything. She's an Arkansas fan.
We did
I
it.
hate I hate how true she is, or true it is, whatever. Yeah, Gators win. This A&M is dog food.
I need EJ Smith to score a touchdown in the swamp like I need air.
While his dad is the honorary Mr. Two Bits, yeah, that'll be quite the turn of events.
Because he was held out last game. He was a game time decision, and they just thought that he apparently he had some kind of, I forgot what injury it was, but it's not like a big deal. They just held him out as a precaution because they're like, look, we're not going to need you in this game. So I think he'll be good to go. Fun fact: the defender that you said you were so excited to get rid of is the number one defender on A&M's defense right now.
Which one, Jaden Hill or Scooby? He's
Scooby.
out, isn't he?
He was out last week. I think he's back this week though.
Oh, I thought I read he was out this week.
Let me look.
Yeah, our game plan is to run the ball directly at Scooby Williams. Looking forward to that.
Let's see, Scooby. Ah, why is my caps lock on? I have questions. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't on last week. He's questionable.
Gotcha.
So it's Ruben's out because we knew. Our starting center is out because he tore an ACL. So we're back up there. And then Scooby is questionable. Otherwise, everybody else is playing. I'm here for the Shamars taking over this game, though. I'm here for it.
What, Shamar James?
Shamar Turner and Shamar Stewart.
And Shamar James.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Just ours. Just ours.
Nope.
The fact that we have two guys with that name really blows my mind because it doesn't seem like a common name.
Hey,
maybe it is. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it. But yes, I'm going A&M, and I'll go by a touchdown. Because I can't not pick the Aggies. I can't do it. Not in my heart of hearts. We know Archie will beat UAB because if you don't, Sydney, I'm going to be upset with you.
Yeah.
Didn't they not have a football program a couple of years ago?
I think so.
Well, that was some backwoods Alabama political stuff there.
Well, yes, but it's still true.
Yes.
I understand.
I'm picking UAB to cover this.
What is it?
Really? I was about to say the exact opposite.
It was 24. Let me double check. Maybe I was looking at the wrong one.
24.5, I believe. I would take the points.
I'm taking the Blazers.
What is the Blazers' record right now?
1-1. They just got their butts kicked by.
I think they cover. I don't think they win. I think that they cover the 23.
They beat Alcorn State 41-3, the team that Vanderbilt shut out and ran out of fireworks for. Love that. And then got killed by LA Monroe. So
yeah.
I can't see that team putting up big points in Arkansas. I just can't. It'll be the same as UTSA in Texas. Just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ole Miss and Wake Forest.
This was another one where the spread was pretty surprisingly large. They're 1-1. They lost to Virginia last week. Again, they're getting 22.5 points on this. I feel like okay, I feel like it's almost disrespectful to have a P5, P4 versus P4 matchup where the spread is 3 touchdowns. Like, yeah, I know that it happens. Tennessee just did it last weekend, but I feel like most of the time, P4 teams don't beat other P4 teams like that. So I'm
You're
going
not
to take the points again. Give me all the points.
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss outright, but I don't think it'll be that big of a win. No.
What did you say it was? Sorry, I'm dealing with work.
Right now, it's 22.5 on ESPN.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about Wake Forest this year, so yeah, I would just say Ole Miss.
The only thing I know about Wake Forest is about their baseball team when I was a student at A&M, and that's all I got for you.
Good baseball team.
They weren't when we played them in our regional. I think that was 2016. Yeah. We won by like double digits. It was bad. Now they're great. Vandy and Georgia State.
Give me Vandy. The fighting Clark Lees. They're rolling.
Yeah. Did they not play last week?
They beat Alcorn State 55-0.
Yeah.
Ran out of fireworks.
Yep. Vandy.
I love Vandy, and I want them to do well because, like, I need more content from SEC Shorts about them. I just need it. Because, like, why not? Georgia will kill Kentucky. It's going to be like one of those stop, she's already dead. Unless y'all disagree with that.
I don't. I think that. I think UGA beats Kentucky so badly. Mark Stoops gets on the hot seat.
Oh, Texas A&M coaching legend Mark Stoops.
Yeah, I think it's like a 45-3, just like demolishing.
I still cannot believe how that went.
Yeah, they're getting downed.
Poor Kentucky. And they were just good, good, not too long ago. So you're like, what happened to you? What did you do?
Yeah.
Liam Cohen left and then came back, and now they don't have a quarterback worth a damn.
Yeah. Let's see. Mississippi State and Toledo. Y'all, Mississippi State is bad, but not bad enough to lose to Toledo.
They're bad enough to lose to Arizona State.
Yeah. No one watched that game. Let's be real.
Yeah, I know. Not a second.
I wasn't interested in it either.
Yeah, fine. I'll go Mississippi State just because I know nothing about Toledo.
I'm going Toledo. I think Mississippi State's awful. Outright. I think if Toledo wins outright.
All right. What's Toledo's
upset of the week?
What's Toledo's mascot? Anybody know?
The Rockets, the Golden Rockets.
Okay.
And they're blasting off over Starkville.
Can they blast off and blow up all the cowbells while they're at it?
They're blasting off over Starkville.
I'm glad you like that one, Sydney.
Y'all. There are good quotes from this episode.
Killing it.
Proud of us.
We did it.
We talked about New Mexico and Auburn. I really don't. I really think New Mexico beats Auburn. I really do.
I think that'd be
Lobos!
incredible.
Get on the train. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Everyone's a Lobo.
And you're a Lobo. And you're a Lobo.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that it's better for Tennessee to go ahead and lose to Kent State so that the annual Tennessee hype train dies early and it's not like a season of hope? Or do you think that it's better to wait another week and then have Oklahoma destroy you in Norman?
Well, I hope if they lose to Kent State.
Definitely wait.
You like the pain to come at the end?
Yeah.
Like you think you have a shot and then you like a cleat flying through the air, it's just ripped away from you.
I saw a video of that recently. Like it just popped up on my TikTok that was like, oh, I've never heard a ref have to call a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for throwing a cleat 20 yards downfield or whatever it was. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I got to revisit this. I needed that in my life. Also, Tennessee only has like 3 good games, if we're honest. They play both Alabama and Georgia, which sucks for them. Couldn't relate. And they play, and then they play Illinois.
They lose at least 3 games this year.
All 3 of those?
They lose to Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So they go 6-6.
Yikes!
Yikes!
Big yikes! It's like
this happens every year, guys. This happens every year. Every year, Tennessee destroys some terrible team, and then it's like, oh my god, they scored 847 points in one game. This is the best offense that ever lived. And then they play a shitty ACC team like who was it a few years ago? Virginia Tech, when they went up to Connecticut and played in this big game. Then they played NC State. They play They play some shitty ACC team, and then they're like, oh wow, we destroyed a shitty ACC team. Who knew? And then they actually play an SEC team. It's normally Florida or Alabama, one of the two, that isn't a shitty ACC team or a MAC team, and then they lose. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, we're Tennessee football. That'll make all the difference. This is the year where it happens.
Now they have a front 7.
Tennessee loses at least 3 to 6 games.
What if they beat Florida? Then what?
So right now, it's sort of the rest of the season is really just a win-win for me, right? Because either we win the rest of our games and Billy Napier saves his job, or the next game we lose, we fire Billy Napier, and then I get to enjoy the chaos that is trying to find a new coach. And so it's really just a win-win for me. Either we win the games on the field, or we fire the coach again and just get to do the most Florida thing possible and just fire a coach every 2.5 to 4 years and roll your dice again and see what happens. I don't know. So it's a win-win for me. So if Tennessee beats Florida, that means that Florida probably beats Texas A&M and Kentucky, and then we're just
not even logical.
What do you mean?
How are those connected?
Because by the time we play Tennessee, we'll have already played those other teams, and if we're still no, but listen, that means that we haven't fired Billy Napier yet if we lose to Tennessee, because the only way we would lose to Tennessee is if we have Billy Napier as our coach. And so the only 2 scenarios where that happens is either we just win the rest of our games and Billy Napier is actually a good coach and nobody realized it, or we lose a game before the Tennessee game and then fire our coach, and in that situation, that means we would beat Tennessee.
You think it just takes one?
Yep.
I'd love to beat them by so much.
If Florida loses to A&M this weekend, okay.
Florida's worse than us with coaches. Jesus.
dude, the only Florida's the worst. I've looked this up. Literally the only other school that even comes close to Florida is Auburn, and really that's it. A&M is the only other school in the SEC that hasn't had a coach be at their school for a decade or longer since 2000. Everybody else has had a coach have at least 10 years. I think Mississippi State's in there, but Jackie Sherrill started in like 99, so it kind of doesn't count. But Dan Mullen was still there for like 9 years, like every other school has had some sort of stability and longevity. But Tennessee's up there too. But yeah, man, we're the carousel is spinning. We are hopping aboard. If he manages to beat A&M in Kentucky and maybe goes into Georgia 5-2, maybe he's still around with a chance to finish the season out and maybe salvage it. But I feel like the next loss, he's out.
So what if we were losing by so much
crazy.
at halftime that he gets fired at halftime?
I don't think that we would fire him at halftime.
I vote that you do.
I don't think we're going to be losing to A&M at halftime either, but because again, see, this is the beauty of my college football fandom this season. If we're losing at halftime, that means DJ Lagway gets to come out after halftime, and I get to watch DJ Lagway play quarterback and try to bring us back and win. If we're winning at halftime, then awesome. That means that we've done a good enough job to be beating Texas A&M at halftime. I'm in a happy mood. Either way, I'm winning. Like that's the beauty of being a fan of a team where your expectations really we honestly could finish 1-11 or 15-1. Mathematically speaking, both outcomes are possible right now. And
oh, good Lord.
And that's how I choose to live my life is, you got to have the good and the bad. So the next loss, I do think, will be just a meteor hitting Gainesville, and Billy Napier gets fired. And who the fuck knows at that point? Like, do players sit out? Like, do players just instantly hop in the transfer portal? Do they just say, I'm saving my red shirt so I can play again next year? I don't know.
I think it all depends on who you get as a coach.
Oh, come on down, Lane Kiffin.
I've seen that apparently they think that if Lane Kiffin is offered the Florida job, he'd take it in a heartbeat.
He would.
And then what? Be threatened to be fired 2 years later for losing a couple games?
I mean, Billy Napier is going to be the first coach to finish with 3 straight losing records since 1930. Like, the last time Florida had a coach start their tenure with 3 straight losing seasons, Texas A&M was a national title contender. So, like, that's the time frame we're talking about, to where I feel like there's a balance to where I do think our fan base in particular is a little quick to jump the gun and want to fire people. I think that our fans are kind of addicted to change, but also there's a level of competency that if we were seeing, the heat wouldn't quite be as high. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that Billy Napier has, particularly around his decision to be his own play caller when he is not exactly an offensive mastermind like Steve Sarkisian or Lane Kiffin or Lincoln Riley, and not go out and, did you say or Jimbo?
Not as an offensive person. I mean,
yeah,
wanting to make his own play calls.
Yes, and all offseason we heard how we have this guy, he's really going to be the OC, and then Napier in his press conference said how we call plays, and then everybody's just like, wait, what the fuck? We're calling plays by committee? Like, no other serious school is going to have a committee of play callers. Like, you have a play caller. You have one person. Like, you don't go into battle and then say you take commands from this, that person, that person, that person. Everybody's equal. No, there's a leader and somebody has to have a voice. And then you get shit like us having to call a timeout after a commercial break because we can't get a play in. And you're like, excuse me? Like, how does this happen? Having 9 players on the field for an extra point, 2 players wearing the same jersey number, like just dumb shit that if it were just one thing, you can kind of just live with it and you move past it. But when you add them all together, combined with the lack of success on the field, yeah, the heat starts off very high, but you can really calm it down in a number of ways. And one of them, like Will Muschamp, by just recruiting your ass off and having an elite defense and your offense sucking, or Dan Mullen to where you have a really great offense, but your defense kind of sucks. Right now, we don't really have either. And it's kind of like Jim McElwain to where it's like, okay, you want to keep us patient, you got to at least show one side or the other. Like, you got to do something really well. And at least Lane Kiffin does offense really well. Does he get unlimited time? No, no coach does. But I mean, I think that Napier's stubbornness to, especially around the play calling thing, that's really the thing that when he made that decision, I was like, okay, that's ballsy as hell. Any coach that makes that decision, because you're amplifying the pressure on yourself. Like, think about Sam Pittman. Sam Pittman was on the hot seat looking to be fired. And then what does he do? He goes out and hires Bobby Petrino to come be his new offensive coordinator. If you're the head coach and you decide to call your own plays, you don't have that lifeline. Like, you're going down with the ship because you decided to take on every role and responsibility. And that's essentially what's happened now, to where it's like, okay, well, you made your bed and now you kind of have to lay in it. And even for people who are staunchly, we're Florida's too quick to fire coaches. They need time to build stuff. Like, we need to be a little bit patient. Once you start to see shit like that, you kind of, you don't, you don't really have the ability to defend it, because it's like, you made that decision. Like, anybody with a brain knows what that decision is going to lead to. You bet on yourself and you kind of came up snake eyes.
I mean, at least you don't owe him what, $75 million?
No, but I'm pretty sure it would be the second highest buyout of all time if Florida fired Billy Napier. It's like 31 million, I think,
Yikes.
depending on when he gets fired. So yeah, it's not Jimbo bad, but it would be up there. So
And the thing is with Jimbo, though, is that A&M literally did not blink an eye. They're like, oh, 75, go ahead. Bye. Like, there was no, like, oh, we shouldn't do, no. Like, we'll find the 75 million, don't worry. And then
yeah,
the next game, they bring out a check that
yeah,
says, you raised this much money. Yeah, I'm sure you did, to get rid of that coach.
yeah, and like, that's the thing with Florida, is like, they just announced that there's going to be a $400 million renovation to the swamp, and like, they're starting to architect that out and make all these changes. And one of them is probably going to be reducing seating capacity, which a lot of fans just hate the concept of. And it's like, and then one thing they always point to is Texas A&M. It's like, oh, Texas A&M renovated Kyle Field and they expanded. And it's like, okay, but you had to blow up your stadium to get to that point. Like, you can't have it both ways. Do you want to keep your old original foundation and architecture in your historic building, or do you want to renovate and expand, but you're going to have to find that space? Man,
He knows a great coach for you.
Billy Napier and Dabo Sweeney are really cut from the same cloth. Like, they really were a pair made in heaven. I ignored the signs, but at this point, I'd probably take Dabo.
Okay.
At least Dabo
wow.
knows to hire his own offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that this is a different sport now, just randomly. But I saw this last night that the what's the one I'm looking for? Renovations for Bluebell have been expedited because Coach Early is on it.
Oh.
And now they've almost doubled the budget. So I'm like,
Wow.
what did Schloss do that was taking forever? And now Early's been here, what, a couple months? And he's already doubled the budget. I don't understand, but it's fine. They want to put a 360 walkway around Bluebell.
That'd be
And I'm
cool.
here for it.
What will they think of next?
I'm here for it because I want our stadium to be nicer,
Cool.
beautiful, and more fans, all of them. All the fans. Also, A&M fans, not including me, because I don't care, are mad. The baseball schedules were released today, and at least the SEC schedules, and Texas and A&M are playing at Texas instead of in College Station. And they're like, well, we wanted Schloss to have to come back to Bluebell and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, y'all get over it.
Well, we want. I want $1 million.
Right.
So how do we miss that Connor Wegman is questionable?
I don't think that he is.
According to the availability report put out by A&M.
Since when? Let me see.
Half our secondary.
Oh, now. Okay, I see it now. Hey, if that's the case, it's Marcel Reed time. Let's go.
You know, what's funny is I feel like every time Florida has to play like a backup quarterback or like, Arkansas fired their offensive coordinator, and this is the first game with a guy who's literally never been an offensive coordinator before, and then they come in and just put up 500 yards, or it's like, oh, this is the backup quarterback, like Max Johnson did to us a few years ago. It's just like, oh yeah, we got this, no problem. And then you just get like Utah's third string quarterback lighting us up. I feel like every time we think that we have some sort of personnel advantage, there's just some ringer that nobody accounted for that they just roll out.
Mind you, Marcel Reed almost beat Oklahoma State last year, being thrown in after Jalen Henderson broke his arm. So he's not horrible. Like, the kid is pretty decent and apparently has beat out Henderson for the backup spot. I thought that he was too small. Mitch, we're not friends anymore.
And that is why his name is Connor Wegman.
And what if he is the starting quarterback and he beats you? Then what?
We'll see.
No, what if? I want to know.
Then maybe I'll call him by the right name.
Maybe
it depends. Okay, if he actually wins the game, then I'll call him the right name. But
couldn't even say it.
Yeah. I had to catch myself.
I thought we were.
But so if he actually is the reason A&M wins, I'll call him by the right name. If it's just like a 19-16 just hideous game, if he's like 11 for 24 with like 110 yards, no, his name will remain Connor Wegman. But if he actually has a good game and actually plays like an SEC quarterback, I will call him by the proper name, maybe.
Okay. Oh, he has maybe at the end. That's the part. Maybe.
I gotta hedge my bets.
I don't know. What was the bet you made at the beginning before we started?
I was about to bring that up.
Let's bring that up.
Okay, so if Florida wins, I will go and get a new camera because my camera's been out of commission, so I haven't been able to go on stream. And if A&M wins, I will change my little icon here from DJ Lagway to Miss Rev in honor of the Fighting Aggies winning. That is my bet. Shelbie, that's how confident I am in my team, though. Shelbie didn't even have to make a counter bet. I just threw that out to the universe. Like, Shelbie has literally nothing riding on this at all. You have to wear like a Gators hat or something, Shelbie. You have to like spray paint your hair orange and blue for Halloween.
No, see, I have said on this podcast that if I had to pick, now it's obsolete because it doesn't matter. There's no divisions. But if I had to pick an SEC East team, it would have been Florida because I like y'all's like designs and such.
Hell yeah.
That doesn't work.
All right, well, I'll take it back. I'll just take the bet myself. I'll live with it. It's okay.
All right. So we are what is your game of the week? Looking at that game list, which game is going to be the best game and why is it A&M in Florida? No, I don't. I honestly don't know.
A&M Florida and LSU South Carolina. And of course my Lobos beating Auburn. That's my game of the week.
Great.
I'm interested in the Boston College Missouri game. I think A&M Florida is game of the week, but just looking at the schedule, I'm pretty interested in that game. That's really it. Be really funny if San Diego State goes in and beats Cal a week after they beat Auburn.
Is San Diego State joining the Pac-12?
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
one of those?
Yep.
I think so.
They're all
yeah.
states.
We also have the Civil War going on up in Oregon, which I think Oregon State's pretty far behind Oregon, but that's always a funny game.
Man, Mikey's on it
Hey,
too.
Mikey is rolling.
I'm upset. I'm hurt. I thought Mikey and I were like kinship, but I guess we're not. It's fine. I guess it's because we got rid of our crappy coach and he didn't. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Something like that. Mitch stole my joke.
Brotherly love right there.
All right, so now hopefully we will see you on Wednesday next week, which is our scheduled day. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We're not good at making our schedule days. Don't listen to us when we schedule
Don't
things.
listen to us. Yes, exactly, Sydney.
Shelby shouldn't be
Once
allowed
again-
to tweet things out because then every time I tweet it out, it messes up.
We change it. We just
Every
like
time
to be
I-
a little rebellious.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. We will see y'all next week. Hopefully, it'll be a good day for Shelby. If it is not, Shelby might cry.
Someone's gonna have a bad day.
Oh, this is how we be friends with Mikey.
That's why me and Mikey went and had dinner, because we both shit on Tennessee as much as we can.
Yeah. Tennessee makes it really easy, though.
Also
Yeah,
true.
their fans suck.
Definitely the most annoying fan base on Twitter.
Let's go crash Bulls. I'm ready. I have lesson planning to do, but let's do that instead.
Bye, friends. I have to leave.
Good night,
Good
Gigamags.
night. Go Gators.
Cindy's not
Pig.
paying. I was like, Cindy's not paying attention.
I won't stop getting emails.